First Walk in October, from the Nature Lovers book. "Autumn's really here," said Janet to Pat one morning as she opened her bedroom window and looked out into the garden. "Look how the trees have all changed colour now, except the evergreens, and the grass is already covered with fallen leaves." "I like autumn," said Pat. "I like all the brilliant colours of the trees, the masses of berries everywhere, and the colour of the bracken in the woods. Oh, it's a lovely time of year." "It's a beautiful day today," said John, trying to look out of the window too, between Pat and Janet. "Oh, there's Fergus! Hi, Fergus!" "Woof!" said Fergus, looking up expectantly, his ears cocked and his tail wagging fast. "Have you come to tell us that it's a good day for a walk?" asked Janet. "Well, you go and ask Uncle Merry, Fergus, and see what he says. Tell him we're all ready." Fergus ran off. "He really does understand what we say," said Janet. "Oh, look, there's Uncle Merry. Uncle Merry, did Fergus give you our message about a walk today?" "Oh, so that's what he came to say," said Uncle Merry. "Well, can you be ready in an hour's time? I'll wait for you in my garden." The children were pleased. Before an hour had gone by, they were all in Uncle Merry's garden, and Fergus came to welcome them. Uncle Merry was looking at something, and they went to see what it was. "Isn't this a lovely spider's web?" said Uncle Merry. The children saw that a big web was spread between some leaves on a bush. The spider who owned the web was hiding behind a leaf. The children could see her quite well. "She's waiting for some insect to bump against her web and shake it," said Uncle Merry. "Then she'll be out in a trice and catch it. She will weave a webby coat around it and then suck its blood at her leisure." "Uncle, how can a spider make a web like this?" asked John, looking at the fine silken trap hanging in the bush. "Does she have web inside her, and can she pull it out as we pull cotton off a reel?" Uncle Merry smiled. "Oh, no, John," he said. "The spider has no web inside her at all. She has little lumps under her body called spinnerets, and out of these she squeezes a sticky fluid. When it reaches the air, this fluid sets and forms a silken thread, which the spider uses at once for her web." "How does a spider begin to make her web?" said Pat. "Look, Uncle, this web has spokes coming out from the centre, like a wheel has. And it has a spiral thread too, going round and round the spokes. I do think it's a very clever pattern." "It is," said Uncle Merry. "The spider first of all makes the spokes, Pat, strong and firm. Then she makes the spiral thread, weaving it round and round the spokes. This thread she makes very sticky, so that a fly brushing against it is held fast." "How clever some of these insects are," said Janet. "Oh, the spider isn't an insect," said Uncle Merry at once. "For one thing, it has 8 legs, Janet, instead of 6. For another thing, its body is at only 2 parts instead of 3. And thirdly, the spider hasn't many different lives as an insect has. It doesn't become a caterpillar, then a chrysalis, and then a perfect insect. It hatches out of the egg as a spider and remains a spider. There's no grub stage." "Oh," said Janet. "I always thought it was an insect. Look, Uncle, the spider has felt that fly shaking its web. It's rushed out to it." "Yes," said Uncle Merry. "It drives its powerful, poisonous fangs into its victim to paralyse it, and then it can tie it up in webbing if it wishes and feast on it at leisure." "Can it see well?" said John. "Well, it has 8 eyes, set in 2 rows on its head," said Uncle Merry. "We'll bring a magnifying glass out one morning and have a look at Mrs. Spider through it. You'll be able to see her many eyes then, her fangs, which look like feelers, and her tiny spinnerets under her body." "Oh, Uncle, look! A wasp has blundered into the web, cried Pat, as a striped wasp flew straight into the silken trap. It will break the web, won't it? Surely the spider won't try to catch the wasp. It will sting her. Watch, said Uncle Merry. You will see how sensible these tiny creatures can be. The spider felt the wasp shaking her web. She rushed out and knew at once that it was a big and dangerous insect. She could not hope to bind it and catch it. It would break her web to bits if she didn't stop it. But how could she prevent her beautiful web from being destroyed by the angry, struggling wasp? In a trice, the spider ran near the wasp and began to cut away the threads that held it. One by one she cut them, and then, when the last thread was cut, the wasp fell to the ground free. He cleaned himself up and flew off, grumbling loudly. "Oh, that was clever," said Pat. "I suppose the spider will mend her web now, Uncle." "She will," said Uncle Merry. "And we will leave her to it, or we shall never have time for a walk this morning. Come along. Fergus has been waiting so patiently all this time." They set off happily down the familiar lane, which now looked very different from either the spring or the summertime, for trees and hedges alike were brilliant with colour. "Oh, the colouring of the leaves is simply glorious," said Janet. "Oh, Uncle Merry, do look at those beeches." They had come to an avenue of beech trees tall and stately. The trees were clad in gold, the gold of sovereigns, rich and pure and bright. Below, the path was covered with cloth of gold too, where the fallen beech leaves shone and glowed. It was a wonderful sight. "Another picture to put away in your mind, Janet," said Uncle Merry, seeing the little girl stop and gaze at the gold colouring as if she couldn't have enough of it. "A beech avenue in autumn is another of our countryside glories." The boys shuffled ahead, kicking the leaves, and Fergus danced round them. He picked up something in his mouth. "It's like a very tiny, tiny hedgehog," said Pat. "What is it, Uncle?" "The fruit of the beech mast," said Uncle Merry. "See how prickly the case is, just like a tiny brown hedgehog, as you said. And inside are the beech nuts, beloved by the squirrel, who likes to hide them away for the winter days." "Oh, there is the squirrel," said John, and he pointed to where a grey squirrel was busily taking beech nuts out of the prickly cases. He was eating the kernels. When he saw the children, he dashed up a tree and disappeared. "We shall probably see him again this month, storing away nuts in the hazel copse," said Uncle Merry. "Then, after that, we shall only see him on warm winter days, when he wakes up for a few hours and has a meal." "I suppose a lot of creatures are preparing for their winter sleep now," said John. "Are the frogs and toads, Uncle, and all those baby frogs we saw one day?" "Yes," said Uncle Merry. "They will soon go back to the pond and hide themselves in the mud. The toads will find good hiding places under damp stones. You see, there are no flies or grumps for them to catch in the winter, with their quick, sticky tongues." "Is that how they catch flies? With their tongues?" asked Pat. "I've never noticed that." "I have," said Sharp-Eyed John. "Uncle, the frog can put its tongue out a very long way, can't it? I watched one this summer, flicking it out at bluebottle flies, and it caught them every time." "Its tongue is fastened to the front of its mouth, instead of to the back, as ours is," said Uncle Merry, "so it can flick it out a long way." "There are not many flowers or insects about today," said Janet. "Not many new flowers, I mean. I haven't seen a single one yet. I suppose there aren't any this month, are there, Uncle? We should only find flowers like scabious, herb robert, persicaria and ragwort. I've seen all those, and a few others besides." "Yes, flowers are getting more scarce now," said Uncle Merry, "though we can still find quite a nice bunch to take home." But there are 2 new flowers this month, Janet. At least one of them was out last month, but we didn't find it. I'll have to take you to where I know it grows. Then you'll see it. He led the children to a meadow, and they went through the gate, closing it carefully behind them. In a corner of the meadow, they came across a beautiful and unexpected sight. Mauve crocuses! At this time of year, said Janet in delight, gazing at the patch of pale purple flowers raising their delicate, crocus-shaped heads out of the ground. Uncle, they haven't any leaves. No, said Uncle Merry. The leaves will not grow until next summer. The flowers come up alone. What's the name of the flower? Asked Janet. Autumn crocus, or meadow saffron, answered her uncle. It isn't really a crocus, though. It belongs to the bluebell family. John looked up at Uncle Merry. Where's the second new flower? He asked. Well, that I shall leave you children to find, said Uncle Merry with a chuckle. We have already passed it once, and we shall no doubt pass plenty more. We'll see who notices it first. The children tried their best to keep their eyes open for the second new flower of October, but they couldn't see it, though Uncle Merry told them they had passed it in 5 different places. John suddenly caught sight of a red admiral butterfly sunning itself in a warm corner of the hedge they were passing. He ran to it. Oh, look, he cried. Isn't this a beauty? And there's a peacock butterfly here too, Uncle, and some wasps, and 2 blue bottles, and lots of other little flies. The children went to watch the little company of insects. Uncle Merry looked at them, and then looked at the children with such a comical expression that John wondered what he was thinking of. The little boy gazed hard at the insects, and then he saw that they were all feasting on the new flower. Uncle! Here's the new flower you meant, he cried. Oh, how blind we were. It's the ivy flower, isn't it? However was it that we didn't notice it? It's a greenish-yellow flower. Perhaps that's why we didn't see it easily. The Red Admiral had to show it to me, Uncle. Well, I'm glad you found it at last, said Uncle Merry. Yes, the ivy blossom is a newcomer this month. It's the last feast that the flowers spread for the insects. That is why you see so many here, feasting on the sweet nectar in the ivy blossoms. Well, I'm glad we found the flower at last, said Janet. I was getting quite worried. The berries don't come till the early spring, do they, Uncle? I remember finding them and thinking they were like black boot buttons. The bracken was turning a glorious russet brown now in the woods and on the common. It will soon die down and become sodden and decayed, said Uncle Merry. Do you remember how we watched it put up its rolled-up fronds and gradually unfurled its green fingers? What a lot of lovely things we have seen this year. The children picked a good many blackberries as they went on their way. The hedges were full of the ripe, juicy berries now, and they were most delicious. They heard the robin singing as they picked the berries. Janet looked at her uncle. What a lovely, rich, creamy song, she said. Yes, the robin always sings beautifully in the autumn, said Uncle Merry. You will hear some of our other birds beginning to sing again too, but the robin is the real autumn songster. Some thistledown came floating by, and John caught some. Oh, isn't it soft and pretty, he said. Is this the way the thistle sends out its seed, Uncle? Yes, said his uncle. I think, John, that instead of hunting for any new flowers on our next walk, I will set you all hunting for seeds and fruits, and to make you tell me how the plants plan to spread abroad their seeds. Oh, that would be fun, said Janet, who loved having a competition of any sort. I can think of heaps of seeds and berries already. Yes, let's do that on our next walk, Uncle. I'm sure I shall collect the most. We'll see, said Uncle Merry. Once upon a time I would have backed John to get the most, but you and Pat have really begun to use your eyes lately, and I'm not sure now who will win. They turned to go home, much to Fergus's sorrow, for he had found a most exciting collection of rabbit holes. He came pattering after them. They came out into the open fields, and Uncle Merry turned his eyes to the sky. "Look," he said, pointing to the telegraph wires at the other side of the field. "Our last swallows are leaving us." The wires were full of twittering swallows and martins. They were gathering together to go south, where they would find warm sunshine and plenty of insect food. "Tonight they will all rise up together and fly off southwards," said Uncle Merry. "We had better say goodbye to them now." "I don't like saying goodbye to the swallows," said Janet sadly. "It's been so lovely to see and hear them all the summer. I wish they stayed with us." "Well, plenty of birds do stay with us," said Uncle Merry. "We will see next month how many we have. Cheer up, Janet. The swallows will be back again in no time." They turned into their own lane and watched the swallows fly up into the sky. Tomorrow they would see them no longer. They would be far away. "We'll have some fun on our next walk," said John. "I guess I'll win the competition, Janet." "You wait and see," said Janet.